Hey guys, are you planning an international trip and don't speak the native language? Don't fear, because today I'll be covering the top things that you should know before you go there. That way you can express yourself and that way you can enjoy a stress-free trip. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and let's get started. So the first step is when you arrive to the country, aka immigration. So you're first going to be in a line and then the officer will call you. Once you get there, you will hand them your passport and then they will start asking you questions. You want to be able to understand what they're saying so you can answer the questions. So first they will ask you the purpose of your trip. Is it tourism? Is it work related? They just want to know. I'm pretty sure that for you it will be tourism. Then they will ask you where are you coming from. They also want to know how many days will you be staying in this country and who will you be staying with or where. Are you going to be with friends or in a hotel? They want to know where you're going to be. Once you're done answering the questions, they will take a picture of you and then they will stamp your passport and you're free to go. After immigrations, you will go to baggage claim to get your luggage. Up next is transportation. How will you get from the airport to your hotel or to wherever you're staying? So if you choose taxi, you want to be able to say how many luggages you have so they know the right size of taxi and where will you be going. Because most cities have a fixed fee depending on how far away you will be driving. If you choose public transportation, you want to be able to ask a local where your bus stop or train stop or subway stop is and where can you get your ticket. Because sometimes you can buy the ticket at the same stop and sometimes you have to go somewhere else, so you want to be sure that you're going to the right place. And if you choose Uber, that's the easiest one because you already put all the information in your phone. You only need to know how to say hello and bye. Okay, so you left the airport and you got to your hotel. This is where you will have to do check-in. They will most likely ask for your name or who you put the name under for your reservation and a credit card or how well you will be paying. Most hotels though, they ask for a credit card. And then once you did all the check-in, this is where you could ask all of your questions. If breakfast is included, at what time is breakfast, and you can also ask for a map, and if you want to know if there's an attraction nearby, how will you get there, if there's a museum, they will be able to answer all of your questions. And now for the general things that you should know. First, directions. Because even if you do get a map, you will most likely get lost. It's totally normal to get lost in a new city. So you want to be able to ask the right questions and understand when they're answering your questions. So first you should be asking, how do I get to? How can I get to? Maybe they will say it's better to go walking or to use the bus. How far away is wherever you want to go to? Is it walking distance or should I use the tram, the subway? Then they will answer your questions. So this is the things that maybe you don't know them, but you should be able to understand. They will say it's 1 block away, or you should turn right on this street or left, or keep on going straight. So even if you don't know them, you should be able to understand. That way you can get to where you want to go. Tip. Guys, remember that in different countries, they use different metric systems. So maybe you're used to meters, but in the US, we use feet. So you should know what was going to be in the country that you're going to and how it translates to what you know. Up next, we have ordering food and going to a restaurant. So of course, you should be able to ask for a menu, for water, and if you have any dietary restrictions, you should be able to ask if this is good for you to eat. For example, does it have to be nut-free, gluten-free? Are you vegetarian? Are you vegan? You want to make sure that what you're eating is safe for you. Also, you should be able to ask for the check, and you should also call maybe beforehand and see if you need to make a reservation. Sometimes in big cities, the restaurants ask for you to make a reservation beforehand. Tip. Guys, remember to research the customs in the city or country that you're going to. For example, in the US, water is free. Restaurants have to give you water for free. But if you're visiting Spain, Portugal, or other places, then you will have to pay for the water that you want to drink. Another thing is tip. So in the US, tip is almost mandatory. You have to leave between a 15 to 18%. But if you're visiting a country in Europe, then the tip is between a 3 to 4%. So it's good to know how it is in the country that you're visiting. That way, you're a good traveler. Up next, attractions. So it all depends what you want to do in this city. If you want to visit a historical attraction, a museum, a monument, you want to be able to ask for the price, how much does it cost, where it is located so you know how will you get there, and at what time does it open and close. Tip: if you are a student, remember to bring your student ID, because in most countries in Europe, Asia, and Latin America, by showing that you are a student, you get a reduced fee or you get it completely free. Well, in the US, sometimes it's like that, but sometimes it's not. And remember that if you're visiting the US, remember to check the prices, because maybe you're used to in your country a museum being a lot cheaper than it is here in the US. And last one, guys, being polite. It's very important to be polite when you're visiting a new country, because sometimes when you don't speak the native language, without realizing it, you come off as rude because you don't know all the phrases to be polite. And if you are polite, it will actually come to your favor, because people will be more willing to help you out even if you don't say it the right way or if they don't really understand you that well. So you should know how to say, sorry, excuse me, I don't want to bother you, but can you help me with? And you should also check if there's anything specific to that country. For example, in French, it's very rude to talk to somebody that you don't know in tu. You should talk to them in vous. Vous pouvez m'aider? And for example, in Costa Rica, instead of saying muchas gracias, you say pura vida. Well, that's it for today's video. If you are traveling to an English or Spanish speaking country, check out my 2 guides that I have in the description box down below. I cover everything that I said in this video, as well as some extra hacks and some extra information. That way you'll be able to enjoy the best trip ever. Well guys, I'll see you next week. Bye!